The city greeted Maya with a cold, damp embrace. Rain painted the streets a slick, shimmering black, reflecting the city lights in a distorted kaleidoscope. The air hung heavy with the smell of wet asphalt and exhaust fumes, a stark contrast to the fresh, earthy scents of her village. Maya clutched her worn suitcase, its broken zipper a gaping maw that mirrored her own unease. Each step towards the unknown sent a tremor through her, a potent cocktail of fear and anticipation coursing through her veins. The city lights blurred into streaks of color as a wave of dizziness washed over her. She hadn't eaten anything since morning, her last meal a hurried farewell gift from her neighbor. The thought of food, of a warm meal and a safe haven propelled her forward. She had an address scribbled on a crumpled piece of paper, a lifeline in this concrete jungle. Her uncle's home, a place she hoped would offer some semblance of comfort, some respite from the storm raging both inside and outside. The house loomed before her, a tall, gaunt structure that seemed to absorb the surrounding light. Paint peeled from its walls like scabs, revealing the tired brick underneath. A single dim bulb flickered above the entrance, casting long, menacing shadows that danced to the rhythm of the city's pulse. Her uncle, a man whose face seemed perpetually etched in a frown, opened the door. His greeting was curt, devoid of any warmth or welcome. He pointed her towards a room at the end of a long, dimly lit hallway. The musty smell of neglect clung to the air, thick and suffocating. The room was small and sparsely furnished, a single bed with a lumpy mattress pushed against the wall. A bare bulb cast a sickly yellow light, highlighting the peeling wallpaper and the cobwebs that adorned the corners. The room was a stark reflection of her uncle's demeanor, cold, unwelcoming, and steeped in an unsettling silence. Days bled into weeks, each one a monotonous struggle for survival. Maya found work at a bustling cafe, her days filled with the clatter of plates and the endless stream of demanding customers. The pay was meager, barely enough to cover the rent her uncle demanded with an outstretched hand and a scowl. Evenings were spent hunched over borrowed books, the flickering light of the street lamp her only companion. Exhaustion became a constant companion, a heavy weight settling on her shoulders. The city, once a symbol of hope and opportunity, now felt like a constricting cage. She longed for the familiar scent of her mother's jasmine tea, for the comforting sound of her sister's laughter. The letters she received, filled with thinly veiled disappointment and accusations, only served to deepen her despair. Her family's rejection was a constant ache in her chest, a wound that refused to heal. One evening, amidst the cacophony of the city, a melody drifted through the open window of her room. It was a simple tune, played on a battered guitar, but it held a note of hope, a spark of defiance that resonated deep within Maya. She looked out and saw a young woman, her face illuminated by the warm glow of a street lamp, her fingers dancing across the strings of her guitar. The music washed over Maya, a balm to her weary soul. In that moment, surrounded by the city's symphony of sound and fury, she made a decision. She would not let the city break her. She would not let her family's disapproval define her. She would find her own melody, her own rhythm in the chaos. The room at the end of the hall, the one she had dreaded, was no longer a cage. It was a cocoon, a space where she could gather her strength, her courage, and emerge, ready to face the world on her own terms.